How awesome is that? Prefer to use these offshore, a lot of toothy critters and a pink bling. Actually a legal size fish. My turn. Not for long. Watch again, I'll bring my rod up so you can see it. Oh yeah, really nice golden. Alright, so first thing this morning, how awesome is that? My daughter made these stickers for me to go on the boat. I'm going to give them a bell for the first time. She's a sign writing apprentice at Kai Signs in Townsville, so big shout out to all the guys and girls down there at Kai Signs. They do a fantastic job. And they look great on the tinny. So, alright, let's launch this thing and get into it. Alright, so today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to head offshore. I've beefed up the outfit a little bit. This is a 5000 Shimano Vanford. 30-pound line, so not too heavy, but again beefed up a little bit. And Smarky Skitch X, and this is a 701 in heavy, I believe. Yeah, so it's a little bit heavier than I normally use for chasing barra and things like that, unless they're really big barra. And I'm going to use two different methods. I've got two of these rods. So I'm going to show you now the two lures that I'll be using, or two styles of lures that I'll be using, and how I'll use them. So first up, really easy, little soft plastic. This is a little 4-inch soft plastic, small paddle tail, so I can let it paddle away, or I can give it a quick flick without it getting all bent out of shape. I'll go up to a 6 or even a 7-inch depending on what I'm chasing, but I usually start a little bit smaller. The area I fish is sort of a rubbly area in 8 to 12, but can get up to 15 meters deep. 3/8 jig head, 4.0 hook, and really simple in the direction that I'm drifting. Big long cast as long as I can get, let it sink to the bottom, and then either hop and hope you get a take, or if that doesn't work, then it's just a slow wind and let the tail do the work. So that's one of the methods. I like chasing some of the emperor species, maybe trout, coral trout that is, and quite effective. As I said, I'll start with a 4-inch and then go up from there and change different styles too, different patterns, see how we go. So the second lure I'll use is a vibe. This is a hard vibe. I prefer to use these offshore, a lot of toothy critters, they get chewed up. I do occasionally use something like a soft vibe from, say, Reedies, the fish snacks, something like that, and I've got a few in the tackle box. But I do like the hards, they last a little bit longer. I do beef up the tackle on here. This is only small, again, start small. I've got some in the 110 and 150 if I need to. The difference with this is that I usually, when using the vibe, I'll sound around, and if I find a school of fish, even a couple of fish hanging around, I'll drop the vibe on their head and then just work it and try and get a reaction bite. Whereas the soft plastic, I'll big long cast, and it's more of a searching bait for me, but the vibe is definitely something that just to drop down straight on the fish and hope to hook up. So all right, I've got about a 25-minute trip to get out to the shoals, so I'm gonna head out and I'll show you in action. All right, so just picked up a little bit of life and drop down the vibe and see if I can pick something up. And I'm using the vibe more times than not, no matter what I'm chasing. Prefer only to use small hops, just the subtle. I don't like to get too aggressive. I think sometimes vibe lures, whether it be hard vibes or soft vibes, can be overworked, used too aggressively. So long as you can just feel that vibe through the rod and you keep it in the zone, then it's doing its job. If there's a fish there and it's triggered, it'll hit it. Nice patch of life just showing at the back of us there now. Hopefully can produce a fish. Come on. Oh, there we go. Feels alright too. Bit of weight. Tug-o-war stalemate at the moment, or he's He's winning actually. See if we can reverse that. Guy's not stopping. My turn. Not for long. I'm thinking trevally, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe a golden. I'll blow this rod apart at this angle. Trying to lower it a little bit. Not high stick it quite as much. Alright, definitely a trevally. I'll call it a golden. We'll see. Oh yeah, really nice golden. Look you down his gob. That's a really nice golden. Oh, get him on board and have a look. On the wet towel, keep him nice and cool. Well, I truly took in that vibe. The hard part of his tongue. Here we go. Elephants do eat peanuts. We better get this guy back in the water. Beautiful big golden trevally, ready to go. Look at that. I better get him back in the water, I think. Spear him in to get some oxygen through his lungs. All right, new spot. Here we go. A little bit of rock and rubble. Always pushing that way, so I'll go at the back just a little bit. Ooh. Fish. Not as big as the problem's got. Oh, little nanny guy. Oh, that sort of fella's got pink bling. These things suffer from barotrauma really badly, but it's only fairly shallow here. I brought it up sort of steady. He's pretty good, and because of that, I'll put a tag in him. If I caught him a little bit deeper water, I'd probably just let him go. So barotrauma is when their air bladder fills up too fast as they're coming up too quick, and they can't release it and they can't get back down, so you've got to vent them. But this guy's ready to go, and we'll let him go. There he goes. All right, decided to change it up. Hitting the rocks wasn't producing anything, so I'm going to do a bit of searching, and I'm going to use soft plastic for that. But I've just put on a little prawn pattern here. Works quite well here when the bite's a little bit quiet. Just want to search around and see if I can find anything. So as I mentioned this morning, I'll just test my drag first. Yeah, good enough. So I mentioned this morning with this, it's a matter of we're drifting that way towards the way I'm facing, so it'll be towards the soft plastic, long cast, let it get to the bottom, and once it's on the bottom I'll do some small hops. No paddle tail on this little plastic, it's a little prawn pattern, so I've got to impart all the action myself. That is bottom, a couple little flicks, and then just let it glide back down to the bottom. Oh, fish. Not all that big, but it's a fish on the first drift. Oh, that's foul hooked. All right, we'll let this little fella go. Beautiful little fish. Need something about 3 or 4 times the size of that, it'd be nice. Secret to knowing when you're on the bottom is watching the line. See, it's tight, and then it just goes loose. Really difficult on days. This breeze is a little bit stiffer than what the forecast said it was going to be. But again, with a bit of practice and over time, you'll learn to master it. So another little trick is, once you get used to watching that line go loose when it hits the bottom, is to then start counting. So what'll happen is you'll cast out, and you'll do it a few times, and you'll get an average of whatever, say count to 10, 12, 15, whatever it is. And that way you'll know when you're close to the bottom. Because some days, you know, if you got wind against tide or it's really windy, it's really difficult to be able to tell. So having a count is quite handy. Yeah. I don't think it feels too big. Well, gold spot cod. There you go. I don't think I've caught one of them out here before, but I'll put him on that wet towel. We might even put a tag in this fella. Alright, there we go. Gold spot cod, just on legal size actually. But if I take anything home today, it's going to be a coral trout, and it's got to be over 40 centimetres. Make it worthwhile. Hopefully closer to 45 or 50. But this guy's going back with a bit of pink bling. Hope we catch him again later. Go on. All right, new soft plastic. Back into the drift. Oh, big turtle. A little bit better, but not massive. Just a little bit more spirit, I think. A bit different, hopefully. Oh yeah, that's a little grassy. Beautiful. I was hoping for a trout or one of these. These guys love these prawns. That's why part of the reason I switched to them. The trout will hit quite happily hit any sort of style of soft plastic, but the sweetlip love these little prawns. And we'll get this guy up. We might put a tag in him and let him go. Really important in this hot weather to keep things damp for these fish, especially the ones you're you're letting go. Might even have to dampen that towel a little bit more soon. Things are drying out pretty quickly with this breeze. Actually well over legal, but too small to me to worry about taking. And a pink bling, actually a legal size fish. So we'll get the soft plastic out and let him go. I'm going to swap to this, the squid vicious, a little bit bigger, and sometimes draws a bite from a bigger fish if there's one a little bit quiet. It might have drifted over it and hasn't taken anything yet. Now, have to be quite as aggressive, sort of more of a glide hop with these. You just take it down a gear or two. Still wanted to make it look like instead of a prawn, a squid, sort of darting away, not quite sure where it wants to go, where it wants to be, and get that reaction. Something that I haven't mentioned that I also do when the drift is fairly quick towards the soft plastic, towards the lure, is to try and maintain a little bit of contact with the handle, and I'll show you what I mean with this cast. It's a little bit difficult, a little bit windy, and the drift's a bit quick and it's a bit bumpy, but with a little bit of practice and a bit of experience, it's doable. All right, so we're on the bottom. So with hop, take the slack up, drop the rod, and then we're drifting pretty quick. It hasn't reached the bottom yet, but what I'll do is turn the handle a little bit, just really slowly to keep up with it, and then you'll see it goes really loose. Once again, I'll bring my rod up so you can see it. So it's starting to drop, so just turn really slowly, keeps a little bit of tightness in the line, and then bang, it hits the bottom. Helps me stay in touch in case I feel a bite. a bump, and helps me know when I'm on the bottom and I just missed a fish. And again, that second one was a bit smaller, I think. There we go. Just let it sit there a little bit. And he ate it. And I don't think it's very big. Grass emperor. Some people call them grass sweetlip, but they're actually an emperor. Little grass emperor. He's actually not that far under size, and hard to believe. But these guys could probably do with a lift in the size limit. But anyway, that's a story for another day. We'll get this guy back in the water, but he's pink blink. Catch him next time. Well, I didn't get the trout that I wanted, but I got a couple of grass emperor, really nice golden trevally, a few other bits and pieces. I am leaving a couple of hours early, only because this weather, and I'm a little bit frightened wind against tide when I do get back. I've got a half an hour run, and I might get a bit smashed, a bit wet. So better to be safe than sorry. I'll head back to the ramp.